Well, hello. Today I'd like to talk to you about something remarkable. So we're going to go a little off brand today, and it won't be a pen, but it has a pen in it. So let's dive into it. So I promised something remarkable. This is the reMarkable tablet. So it comes in a nice case. It has a magnetic pen fit to the side. The case just kind of fits magnetically around it like that. And it folds open nicely. And reMarkable is sleeping. But just check that out. So what is it? Well, this is pretty much every notebook I use at school. Some of the notebooks I use here. Notebooks I use for the channel. It's just a little bit of everything. It's private. But did you see that flash? This is an e-ink screen, which is something you may not like. So we'll take the passcode off screen, because I don't really need to share that with the public. And let's go up a little. So I have it set up. We'll zoom in here slightly. I have it set up with all kinds of folders. I can create new folders. I can create new notebooks. I also have a lot of files here. These are just documents that I've taken, web pages and such, so I can write notes on them if I want to. Demand for, well, I'll just open this one up. Demand for K-12 teachers in North Dakota. Oh, you can't see the title. Outstrips supply. And then I can, underline stuff. I can highlight stuff. Neither of which you saw me do. So we'll try it again. So, yeah, I can write on, didn't mean to highlight that. Didn't mean to highlight that. Didn't mean to underline that. I've got an eraser on it, too. I did a terrible job erasing the highlighting, though. But it is e-ink. So one of the problems is that, it may need to refresh the page a little bit. We can flip, see, that flash was it, totally refreshing the pages. So let's talk a little bit about e-ink. Now this is not a how-to sort of deal, but just to demonstrate, I'm going to go into channel, because I'm doing this on the channel. I have various notebooks here, and we're going to make one. So I'm going to create a new notebook. So notebook title, and I can type it in. So I'm going to call it it capitalized the first letter. I don't like that, because reMarkable. And notebook cover, do I want it to be the first page or the last page visited? I usually like the first page. And as a background, I've got a choice of dots, blank, lined, grid. And hey, do I want something else? Maybe I want storyboards, a day planner, a Cornell notes, checklist, dots just at the bottom, large dots, various types of grid. Something weird and freaky that I don't even know what I do with that. Like hexagons. So anyway, I'm going to go with dot, because that's what I almost always do. We'll go with dots S, and we'll create it. Behold the power of a blank page. So you might be wondering right now, what's the size on this? So this is a B5 notebook. Let's zoom out again. I'm having trouble getting this whole thing in, but it is about the size of a B5 notebook, which is about my favorite notebook size. So that works. So we're making a cover here. So let's just look at my options. I've got all kinds of different dealios I can do. So usually with this, I'll do a calligraphy pen. So we'll go reMarkable review. And now, there it is. That will always be on top so I can see at a glance that my bad penmanship. And we'll write in it and I will show you some other nice features. So let's add a new page. We'll just, we got a little button here. Let's add a page. So, I'm going to use mechanical pencil because that's what I always use, but I'll show you each of them. So this is mechanical pencil. Feels great. It's a lot like writing on paper. Here's regular pencil. A lot more fadey and stuff, which pencils generally are. If I want, I can change the line width, thick, medium, so we'll do thick, just so you can see it. But I don't like it. So let's see, we did that. There's ballpoint pen. I mean, ew, but I guess ballpoints are good for something. Fine liner. Subtle differences. Marker. I don't think I've ever actually used marker. It's fat. Thick. Is that what they say? Paintbrush. We'll put the paintbrush over here. I wrote pant brush, but you know, it's a paintbrush. Highlighter. Which, fun fact, by the way, when you project it on the screen or you export it as a PDF, you've got choices of colors you can make it. Now, here on the grayscale, won't make a difference. A couple of the others have options too. Calligraphy pen you saw, and text, which is a new option. Type it. Oh, it's down here. I kind of wish if they're going to offer that feature, there was an external keyboard that you could attach. But anyway, if I need to erase anything, well, I guess I can't erase the other end of this pen has an eraser. Let's put it back to pencil. There is an eraser over here. There's the ability to select stuff and move it. I'm not grand at this. I don't know if I've ever used this feature. There we go. Let's snark it. Oh, let's cut it. And then down here, we'll paste it. So, you know, I'd like to be able to just drag it, but I suppose the limitations of e-ink and all that. If I want to get a view, I can view all my pages at once. So we'll go to page 2. I haven't used this feature, but I can create tags. I can add layers. So maybe layer 1 is all this stuff. Layer 2, so we'll add a layer here. So layer 2 is where maybe I'll say it's my fave. Oops. Have it in pencil mode would help. It's my fave. And if I don't want anybody to see that, I can just turn off layer 2 and it's gone. Which is handy when you're teaching and you pre-make stuff. Down here, other options that are available. I got this doodad. So I can present with screen share, which I can't really demonstrate here. But that is awesome for teaching because I can write on this and it immediately appears on the board. Send by email, so I can email this to myself. I can even convert notes to text. So let's just see how that does. Okay. So not perfect, but I've had really good luck with this. I've written some huge documents. In fact, my current driving video series about the book banning, I went on and on and on with my notes on here, and very few errors when it converted it to text. Of course, the original handwritten is still here. And then down here, I can change settings. I can switch it to landscape view, which is a nice feature, especially for writing on the board. I can search. Basically, it'll be looking for keywords. I can... oops, wrong one. Notebook settings. I don't think I've actually played with that. Oh, not many choices. Haven't played with that either. But let's say I'm writing along, and ew, I don't want to see that. Well, you have this nice little button here, snarks it all away, and you've got basically a clear page, and you can write and write and write and write, and oh, got to the bottom of the page, now what? Kind of messes up your export to PDF, but hey, I basically have infinite paper. Now, it doesn't work quite as well, but what if I want to write, I want to just finish this diagram here. Oh, I can expand it over this way. Apparently not quite as far, or else I'm messing up the gesture. So I've found that the two-finger gesture, it doesn't always read it, but I can zoom in on stuff. I can zoom out. I can make it... so I see the whole page. Oh, we still don't see the whole page. Oh, I guess that's as small as it gets. So I will go back a page here, get this reset, and come back. Because I want to take a look at a few things. So, as far as the zooming feature, let's do it. Oops, not with the paintbrush. Paintbrushes are boring. With the pencil, let's just do a quick little sketchy poo of a ball. Somewhere the artists out there are groaning because what an awful drawer I am, but you know what? Live with it. So, just getting some detail there. That's some pretty fine-grained detail. So how does e-ink work, and why do you see the flash of the screen every so often? So e-ink is actually a whole bunch of balls. One side of them is black. The other side is white. When you pass your pen over it, the pen is basically a magnet, not a horseshoe magnet, but a magnet, and it will attract whichever side. So here it's attracting the black, and depending on how hard I press it, it attracts the black more or less, so I can get my various shades of gray. But kind of just flips these over, and sometimes they don't go back perfectly, so you get some ghosting, like right here. And I don't know if you can see it on screen, but there's still some ghosting there. But when I do enough scribbling and correcting and oh gosh, got to get rid of that too. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. Eventually, it refreshes the whole screen, which is a quirk of e-ink. And we're not going to do it right now for our audience, so let's do it this way. I'll just scroll the page. Still not going to do it. There we go. And now it refreshed the whole page. So, yeah, quirk of e-ink. Very nice screen to look at. It's not exactly paper, but it's similar to paper. It doesn't really lag. It keeps up with me. And like I said, I can go page after page. So let me take you to my driving video. So here is, the typed text. But I went on for page after page of handwriting with it. All on one page, so I didn't even have to stop to flip the page or anything. And that's wonderful. Now, another thing that it'll do is it syncs everything to the internet. So if I drop this, I can get it back. I can get a copy of it off my computer. Now I can even write documents on my computer, like with typed text, and put them on here. And it does beautiful things with PDFs, which is the other thing that this really changed in my life. So let me go to, not to channel, we're going to go personal. So this comes from My Deep Guide. This is a extremely long PDF made by Voya. Now I'm going to open it off screen because I don't want us looking at what I'm actually doing. I want to look at something not private. So we're going to go to, start with 2023. So we'll zoom out for now. 2023, I can tap on any date and go there. I don't use this feature, but there's a Q1, Q2, where I can put just quick notes for each day in that quarter of the year. There's a My Notes back here. I've never used it. There's a My Lists. Come on. There it goes. Same thing. I guess I lie. I have used it, but really all I put back here is like if I'm using the version that doesn't have next year in it and I'm writing down a dentist appointment for next year, I'll write it in here. So we'll go back to 2023. And July is usually a quiet month for me, so we'll go to July. So I can put notes in here for whatever I'm doing each day. I like to fill in, overview. I can put notes for the month that, this month you got to can your asparagus or something. I have a weekly calendar here. So I've got a space for each day of the week, plus a week goals. So we'll go back to June, or July, I mean. I can go to each day. So we'll go to the 13th. Now, I love this. This is usually the page that's open every day. So I put my to-do list here. So these are the things I want to accomplish today. Over here is where I can block out time and say, I'm going to work on pens in use from 7:30 to 8. So I can just go pens in use. I guess it's going to be from 3 to 4. But anyway, there's a space down here just to take notes. Like, remember to buy milk or something. There is also daily notes. So a full page of notes just for that day. I like to put student notes on there. Like, Joe Bob isn't doing his homework. Daily planner. Oops, I was at the daily planner. Daily diary, I mean. I don't use the daily diary, but maybe your thing. My goals, 3 things I'm grateful for. The best thing that happened today, my daily log. So you've got things in here, a lot of things in here. Now, how does it work? Well, it is a giant PDF. How giant? I'm on page 897 of 1,785 pages. That would be a nightmarish planner to carry around. It would be like carrying a Bible around. But it all fits in here very nicely. And then when, 2024 rolls around, I just export this as a PDF. Has all my handwriting on it. I can save it if I need to. And I might, especially the student notes, I might need to reference back to them. And then, move on with my new calendar. And this has been a game changer because I've tried bullet journals using, I have a Midori Traveler's Notebook that I used to use for that. I have tried doing the calendar on the cell phone and to-do apps like Todoist. And I couldn't stick with any of it. There's tasks in Evernote, couldn't stick with that. And I've realized that it's the handwriting. Now, the bullet journal came the closest for me. Why didn't I like the bullet journal? Because it just was hard to fit some of these other things like the daily notes and so on into it. And it didn't lend itself to this daily diary, which is important to me. You got to block out your time. You don't just write a bunch of tasks you get done today. You got to plan when you're going to do things and when you're going to work on things, or else you're not going to do it. I mean, if you write down buy milk, okay, I'll do that when I get to the grocery store. But yeah, I got to plan out, I'm going to correct papers from this time to this time. And just been a game changer for me. So I'll put a link to Voya where you can get that. The reMarkable has a lot of different places you can get it. And tomorrow I'm going to wonder why I'm in July. And I still have 28% battery. I'm not even thinking about charging it yet. E-ink uses a very low amount of battery. I could get even more battery power out of this if I didn't have it connected to the web to sync. It's classy looking. The only button on it is a button here to turn it on. And it has a USB-C charging port at the bottom. It's been a game changer for me. And yeah, it was one of those things. I'll tell you about how I ended up owning it. But are there things I don't like? And I'll get into them too when we go back to my face. But anyway, that is the reMarkable tablet. So that was the reMarkable tablet. And I have to say it was reMarkable. So I purchased it a few years ago. I'd been seeing people talk about the reMarkable version 1 for a while and liking it. And I just kept thinking, yipe, that's quite a price. And then the pandemic happened and a lockdown, and I was spending a lot of time at home. And reMarkable 2 came out, and I just thought, whatever. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. I'm not spending any money. So I splashed out some cash and bought a reMarkable 2 tablet. And it arrived. I thought it would arrive in time for school to start that fall, which was one of the worst years of my teaching life. But anyway, it didn't arrive till October. And at first, I couldn't get into my workflow. But as you saw, as time went on, it has worked into my workflow quite a bit. Every day it is open on my desk to my planner. I have all kinds of notebooks on it. I used to have a notebook for, my pens and use and driving videos. Yeah, it's on the reMarkable tablet now. Trying to think what all. I have notebooks for each of my classes. I can use it to teach, I can write on the tablet and it projects almost immediately on the screen. A feature I only sort of showed you, I didn't really demonstrate it. I use it constantly. It's full of notebooks. It is, quite honestly, it's turned out to be worth the cash I splashed out during that, insane period during the lockdown when couldn't go anywhere or do anything. So, I would say, it's not a necessary thing, but at school, all the different notebooks I used to have, all in one. At home, fewer notebooks. I do have notebooks. I do like to write with a fountain pen. But often the writing with the fountain pen is more relaxed kind of stuff, shall we say. But planning out videos, this is awesome. I just really happy with it, ridiculously happy. The battery life on it has been amazing. Trying to think what else. The feel is good. If I can't use a fountain pen, I like to use a number 2 pencil. Love a number 2 pencil on this. It feels like a number 2 pencil. I usually use the mechanical pencil setting, but the others are there and they're useful from time to time. I'm not so into art, but if I were, that might be fun for that too. Who knows? And I love it's got the technology, and yet it keeps that hands-on feel. Now, are there things I don't like? A couple. One of them... Oh, come on. I'm trying to get the stylus. I do wish the stylus is just a teensy bit thicker, but it is about the size of a number 2 pencil, so hey. I like the size of the screen. I do wish I had one of those front lights like a Kindle does, but then again, I don't have too many situations where I need it, so I guess that's okay. I'd kind of like it if it was the background was a little whiter, but I can live with that. I wish I could get a more sketching-like experience with the number 2 pencil setting, but I don't know. I don't do it often enough, so I guess I'm okay. I wish sometimes it would respond better to my finger gestures, like go over here, or expand or reduce, or let's slide the page around type of things. It's not so responsive to those as I would like. But I'm not sure how much of that is the software lagging and how much is just the nature of e-ink. E-ink is kind of slow when you're making big changes in the whole screen. Now, responsiveness, as you saw with the writing, is very good. But responsiveness for other things and refreshing could use some work. So on the whole, very happy I bought it. Hopefully I will use it for a lot more years. I personally don't mind that it doesn't have, I can't surf the internet on it, I can't check my email, can't do all that business. It's not an iPad. It's a notebook. And that's what I want it to be. I like the idea of a plain old-fashioned paper notebook. And this is a nice modern update of a plain old-fashioned paper notebook. I tried doing notes on my iPad when I first got it, which it was, a generation 2, so it no longer even works. I hated it. This, I don't know what the difference is, but it's perfect. Perfect for my use case. So, on the whole, very happy with it. So I hope you didn't mind a little diversion into something different. Don't worry, electronics aren't going to be the regular deal on this channel, but I felt the handwriting feature of it made it worth talking about on this channel. So I thank you for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.